Love and imagination are deeply interconnected as political processes, and they play a central role in our lives and in the struggles we have against capitalism. However, despite this, we seldom find space to think seriously about the role of love or the role of imagination in political projects. The ways in which capitalism seeks to privatise love and to fold it away from all other human connections limits how we can think about its reach and its capacity. By turning love into a commodity, capitalism seeks to control and regulate our lives, even our emotional lives. However, when we recognise the political power of love and imagination, we extend our collective capacities. We practice that political muscle, what it can do, what it can reach, and also what happens when we fail and we need to learn to spring back again. Because failure in the pursuit of love and imagination is also part of how we build our movements. Engaging in acts of love and nurturing our imaginative capacities are essential aspects of our struggle, and they're key to how we can envisage building a new and different world. Are love and imagination related to politics?
So much of that work of creativity and imagination as a kind of site of political struggle, it is about remaking the connections that capitalism has broken, whether it's, between each other, between our body, our minds, between, even thinking about, what the economy is versus what the environment is and all of that, and kind of rebuilding those connections when they've been sort of forcibly broken, and how we do that is such a key part of our political demands, but also our strategy and our tactics.
Can we love for a better world?
I recently read an article by scholar and activist Robin D.G. Kelly. In it, he spoke about a note taped to the top drawer of his desk, and it read, "Love, study, struggle." James Baldwin is his primary muse on thinking about love, and about love as agency, and about making love as the resource for making revolution. It's not something that needs to be kind of microscopically understood beyond its appearance in our lives on a regular basis. It's not something which necessarily demands theorization, but it simply exists as an essential force in the course of our human existence, whose symbolic power is kind of bursting with feeling. And I always think about just how much you can convey by putting two fingers around your heart. To me, the work of anti-capitalism is, to quote Hooks, all about love. I feel our nation's turning away from love, moving into a wilderness of spirit so intense we may never find our way home again. I write of love to bear witness both to the danger in this movement and to call for a return to love. This love she calls for us to return to me feels especially important now, with an ascendant kind of exploration in what the politics and organizing of abolition can offer us. Love as a radically humanizing recognition of equality and shared experience is so clearly, for me, counterposed to the dehumanizing thrust of the carceral state. And in abolition, I think we need to start from a place of forgiveness, the revolutionary, humanizing, anti-capitalist forgiveness. And this is love in action.
Capitalism tries to capture romantic love, transforming even our love for each other into a form of property relations. Under capitalism, romance becomes a question of, do I own you or do I love you?
This dominant discourse of romantic love, which of course, isn't the way we really feel it necessarily, and all the amazing feelings we can get from romantic love, but this dominant hegemonic discourse of romantic love traditionally paints a picture of white, straight, able-bodied people and long-term monogamous couples leading to marriage and reproduction. And it's a malleable concept that can incorporate other sexualities, identities, but it's still primarily about this kind of utopia of monogamous coupledom. And this discourse, this very specific capitalist romantic love discourse, is linked to a lot of tenets that are really central to that economic system as well. It's in the private sphere, it's individual, it's exclusionary, not only to people outside of this couple, the dyad, but the whole discourse is exclusionary to quite a lot of people. It's atomizing, it kind of brings in notions of property and possession. Also, the way we speak about love often can kind of invoke the market, I'm on the market, etc. But at the same time, romantic love in our societies can often provide the most profound sense of meaning in the society that we live in.
Human love, now even more than then, is widely tasked with achieving what once only divine love was thought capable of, to be our ultimate source of meaning and happiness, and of power over suffering and disappointment. How do we imagine, then build a better world?
I
think the imagination provides us with some kind of effective impetus that propels anti-capitalist action. So by that I mean the process of imagining otherwise, of imagining that we could live differently, of orientating ourselves against this world in favor of another. I think for me, the imagination is a kind of abstracted process of conjuring that which does not exist presently or subjectively. When we imagine beyond what we've been given, we're recognizing that in the arena of politics, what is deemed not possible about our political demands is as much a construction as what we understand to be our reality. And by that I mean the certain political possibilities that are deemed not possible are only not possible because the governing and hegemonic structures and forces that organize our world have told us so. The imagination, I think, allows us to make a set of demands, but thinking beyond what we've been given in terms of our demands, it's kind of the difference between us demanding a 4-day work week and demanding a world without work, or the reform of borders versus a world without borders, or between defunding and abolishing the police, for example.
When we take time to think seriously about love and imagination, we're taking time to rebuild the connections that capitalism smashes apart. Not only our connections to each other, but also our connections to the wider ecosystem, to society, even our connections to ourselves. Love is central to revolutionary struggle and the ways in which we can build something new. But to do this, we have to break the constraints of the love that's given to us by capitalism, the love of ownership, the love of property, and instead to think again about our relations to each other, to think of a kind of radical intimacy, an intimacy that can embrace us all.